What's up, everybody? Today's project is AC delete. We're gonna pull it out now that I have the radiator out. So looking at order of operations here, we have to start by getting the tensioner, which is right here in the middle. You have to pop, let's see if we can see it. You pop this cap off, get an Allen wrench. I think it's size 6 or 7, and then just turn that clockwise, and that'll release tension off of this belt. The good news about the E36 is the AC is driven on its own belt. So once we remove this belt, that's it. Next order of operations is I'm going to start getting hoses off, mainly these two here, because this one actually goes up here into the, I think this is a condenser unit right here. This sits behind the radiator. I already have the radiator out because I'm replacing it as well. So then we'll pull this out. Then we'll get, I believe it's, yeah, the remainder of this hose and this hose. They connect back here. We'll pull these ones out. I'm not going to fuss with anything like internally in the car, like behind the dash. Not yet anyway. And then we will pull off the AC unit with the belt and the pulleys and everything off of the motor. So I'm going to get to work, and I will come back on and update you guys as I'm making progress here. Alright, so in order to remove the condenser, I took the front bumper off. That's what the repair manual says. So it's just 4 bolts. It's actually really easy to get off. Pop these ones off, those ones off. The bumper just pulls right off after you take the molding off of it, as long as you have a plastic like molding removal tool. If you're going to use a screwdriver, just take your time. That way you don't break any of these clips. So anyways, on top there's 2 bolts here that hold a condenser on top. Leave those in. Actually, the fan's mounted on the front. It's mounted here, and there's 2 more, if you could see it. Not really. Let me get a look at it here. So there's another one up here and another one up here on the fan. I used a long extension, where is it? Like so. And I just fed it through the grill. I don't like taking these kidney grills out too much because the clips aren't very good on them. So I just expanded this and slipped it through there. No big deal, nothing was cracked. Popped them off. They're all 10mm. So now the next step is you come down here to these 2 hoses. Now, anytime you're working with refrigerant, I don't have the correct tools to bleed it out or drain it. So wear a face mask, wear a mask, wear some protective eyewear, some goggles or something. Goggles, but glasses, you know what I mean? Sunglasses, whatever. I'm in my garage is well ventilated. When I did open up the valve on the charging unit, or it might be the compressor unit, whatever the name is, refrigerant came out. It was under, I did the pressure line first, and some refrigerant bled out, so I just let it bleed out. I went out of the garage for a couple 10 minutes, then came back and it's fine. So to get the condenser out, pop off, there's a hose here which has a bolt, and a hose here in the back, and then we can just pop it right out of there, put it over here with the radiator that we pulled out. So next steps here, like I said, this is a high pressure hose. You can see it in there. Refrigerant's already out of there. So this hose is off, electrical's off. I'm going to work on getting the dryer off now. I don't know if I can just leave these hoses on or detach them from back here, these 2. Try to get those ones off because one of these is stripped on my dryer unit, so I might just try to have to feed mine out with the lines already still connected. So that's another reason why I took the bumper off. So I just might pop these. These look like 10 or 8mm on the housing itself, and I'll just drop it straight down since I already have these other lines off. I'm just gonna chase this line the skinny line back and see if I can just work it all the way out. So stay tuned. I'll be back with an update here momentarily. Okay, so now the drying unit is out. So in my situation, the bolts, the hex bolts were stripped. So I undid the mounting brackets. It's a bolt right here, if you could see it. There's one and another here. Those were 8 mils. I popped those out. If you remember in the previous video, there was a hose going all the way up to here, and it mounted back here next to this one. So I have this larger hose to pop off here, and it goes to this one, which I already have loosened. This was a high pressure line, by the way. So when you go to unscrew that one, be prepared for some refrigerant to come out of there if you do not drain it. So mine did that, and I just let it drain out. I ran out of the garage, so I didn't know if it was harmful or what. So kind of sketch, but all good. So we'll get this one off here. I already have it off. I'll pull that out. And then there's one more mount down here. Let's see if we can get under. So probably another 8 mil on this one here. So for sure, taking the front bumper off is the way to go. You don't have to force anything out. The fan comes out super easy. Everything's super easy to come out. While I got it all off, I'm gonna do some cleaning in there, clean some of this stuff up. So next video, I will have this line completely off, and then I'm gonna get the actual unit off. And what I'll probably do, since I have the bumper off, I'm gonna throw one of my jacks under here just to give me a little support while I unbolt this, and then I'll drop it. Okay, the entire AC unit is out of there. This is an older car. This one's a 1998, so being 23 years old, all the bolts were literally stuck or rusted in there, were a pain in the ass to get out. So along with, I'll come under here, we can see it. So along with, you can see it, there we go. So AC unit was right about here. So there's 2 other components to this. There's a mounting bracket, and then there's the actual tensioner pulley. So the mounting bracket is right here, and it sits on there in this orientation here. So there's a couple bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 on there that you could see right away, and then there's another 2 on the back side. So 1 and 2. These bolts are a little tricky. This one you can get underneath the car. This one you have to get on top. If you have like a long wrench, that'd be ideal, because it sits actually behind this little I don't even know what this is, some sort of toothed ring. It doesn't have anything connected to it, but it sits in front of the motor. I'm sure there's a name for it. I don't know the name at the moment, but the bolt sits behind it, and you can get about like 1/8 of a turn each time. So that was a little timely, but that comes off. It looks a lot cleaner. So AC unit is gone. So now we have, see my feet. You got all kinds of room in the engine now. With the upcoming work, I'm changing motor mounts and stuff, so I wanted to get this out first. Next project will be cleaning up in here a little bit, and then we're going to move over and pull out the power steering pump, because I have a power steering delete coming probably early next week from Garagistic. So next video to come is going to be the power steering removal. So stay tuned for that. We'll keep the videos coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.